What's up, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Pick and Pod cast, which is my brand new name for this show. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. I just came up with it on the car ride over to my house, which is unsurprising because it's where I do most of my thinking while I'm driving. Moving on, though, my name is Dawson Shine, and I'm your host for today. And we have some incredible games and major blowouts, so prepare yourself. We're going to be talking first about the absolutely unbelievable Oklahoma City Thunder 3-1 series lead against the Warriors. Now, you didn't mishear me. The Oklahoma City Thunders took a 3-1 series lead, pushing the Golden State 73-win Warriors to the brink of elimination in Game 5 in Golden State tonight. They did this by winning 118-94 against the Warriors in Oklahoma City 2 days ago. And, oh my God, did they dominate them. Oklahoma City came out right from the gate up 30-26 in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, they started to blow them out. They went on a 42-27 quarter, had 72 points in the first half, which means they've had consecutive 70-point plus first halves in the series. Lost the third quarter due to a Klay Thompson 19-point eruption where he scored 19 straight points for the Golden State Warriors, carrying them, and they won that quarter 29-22. But then Oklahoma City took all the blows and then held on to crush them in the fourth quarter 24-12 to make this a massive 24-point victory. The Thunder destroyed them in every single facet of this game. And obviously, we know that there's some controversy for this game because we talked about last time Draymond Green could be facing a suspension, but the NBA had no balls and did not give him a suspension. In fact, they said it was okay that he did that, despite 1 day prior giving a suspension to Dante Jones for hitting someone else in the private areas, we'll say. So the Thunder came out fired up, ready to go, and just destroyed the Warriors. Obviously, Russell Westbrook was incredible. 12 for 27 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, 36 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals. He had a triple-double. It was his third career 30-10-10 game in the playoffs, which is only second all-time behind LeBron James and Oscar Robertson, who each have 8. Andre Roberson, 17 points and 12 rebounds. We're going to be talking about him a little bit. And then Steven Adams, 11-7, after getting attacked last game and the game before that. Serge Ibaka had 17-7. And then Kevin Durant, despite shooting poorly, had 26 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. He almost had a 5-by-5. An incredible game by him, despite the poor shooting. On the other side, besides Klay Thompson in the third quarter, they were awful. Every single starter, including Steph Curry, who had probably the worst game of his career, especially in the playoffs. He went out there, he put up 19 points, 5 assists, 6 turnovers, and he shot 6 for 20 from the field, 2 for 20 from 3, and he missed 2 free throws. When does that ever happen? When does Steph Curry miss 2 free throws in a game? He was visibly shook by the Thunder's defense. They were physical with him. They were bumping him. They were grabbing him. They were fighting over screens against him, making sure he had to work for everything on the offensive and defensive end. And they took advantage. He got tired. He started to put his arms down. He looked defeated when he shot the ball. The only person on this entire Warriors team that showed any heart in this game was Klay Thompson, who had massive foul trouble. He had 4 fouls only, but he had 3 in the first half, picked up his 4th in the third quarter, and then went out there and said, I'm playing anyways, put up 19 straight points to help cut the lead down a little bit. He got it all the way down to about 10 going into the fourth quarter, 10-12, before he went out because he didn't want to get in more foul trouble. But that wasn't enough. He shot 9 for 17 for 26 points, but it didn't matter because everyone else laid an egg. Oh, and speaking about having terrible games, hello, Draymond Green. He might as well have not been suspended because he helped the Thunder. He was so bad in this game, minus 30 for a second consecutive game. He had 6 points, 11 rebounds, 6 turnovers for an incredible 1 for 7 shooting performance. Wow, absolutely incredible superstar. The NBA is lucky they didn't suspend him because, man, if they suspended him, fans would have rioted. Who would have not wanted to watch this offensive showcase and defensive effort? Oh wait, no one. It sucked. He was awful in every facet of the game. And it's a good thing that he was, because honestly, he deserved to be suspended. And this proves the fact that ball doesn't lie, ever. And I think this entire game is basically just Rasheed Wallace yelling, "Ball don't lie," every single play. The Warriors could not get the ball to go in the hoop. They couldn't play defense, nothing. Oh, and of course, Draymond Green didn't want to miss the opportunity to get in even more potential trouble by tripping Enes Kanter in the fourth quarter of a blowout with both of his legs grabbing him and trying to basically force him to the ground, which he did do, making it look like it was an accident until you watch the replay and see he literally hooked both of his legs around Enes Kanter and pulled him to the ground. That should be cause for flagrant one foul, even after the game, and if it is, he'll be suspended. But we'll see if the NBA actually has the nerves and the balls to do it, because obviously they couldn't do it before. And they might definitely not do it now because the Warriors are on the brink of elimination, and who doesn't want to have Draymond Green for Game 5? Probably the Warriors, to be honest, because he has been such a net negative for them. But I want to talk about how this happened. How did the 73-win team, with the reigning unanimous MVP back-to-back, with 3 All-Stars in the starting lineup, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Finals MVP Andre Iguodala off the bench, such a deep, supposedly amazing team with great defense and unbelievable shooting displays, played this bad against the Thunder, who were supposed to be underdogs in their last series, never mind this one. Well, I think the key for this is to be speaking about the coaching first, because Billy Donovan, the rookie head coach for the Thunder, is coaching circles and circles and squares around Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr can't handle any of the lineups that he's being thrown at. And it's not because he has lack of a talented team. Obviously, his team is one of the best in the league. And yet, he can't do anything about this because Steve Kerr doesn't know how to stop this lineup. The Thunder are throwing out lineups that have Enes Kanter, Serge Ibaka, Steven Adams, Kevin Durant, those 4 players who are massive, almost all near 7 feet tall, and all great rebounders. And they're just swallowing up the rebounds. And Billy Donovan is making other amazing moves, not just putting big men in the lineup to destroy the small ball of the Warriors. He's also doing tactics like hacking Ezeli. Hacking Festus Ezeli is a really good move because Festus Ezeli cannot shoot well for free throws. But most teams employ hack a person like Hack a Shaq during a game, which interrupts the flow and the momentum. What Billy Donovan did last night, 2 nights ago, was hack Festus Ezeli coming out of timeouts. So when the Warriors called a timeout, the minute they came out of it, instead of getting a drawn-up play to try and get Steph Curry or Klay Thompson an open shot and get them going, Billy Donovan would instead foul Festus Ezeli, force him to take free throws, and basically interrupt any out-of-timeout plays, which is incredibly smart. It wasn't meant to slow the pace down because the Thunder want to run at a fast pace. They wanted to prevent an offensive set being run out of timeout for Klay Thompson or Steph Curry, and it worked beautifully. It helped prevent any real runs, especially in the second quarter. And another great move he's been doing is trying to get Andre Roberson involved in the offense. As I said I would talk about him, Andre Roberson has been incredible, and thanks to Billy Donovan, he's getting utilized properly on both the offensive and defensive ends now. See, the Warriors' defense is predicated on some great individual and team defenders like Andrew Bogut, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes. They're all great defenders. Stephen Curry, on the other hand, is not a great defender. He is average to below average at best. He's no LeBron James on defense who takes off plays and then can actually turn it up and be a great defender when he wants to. Steph Curry is just not a great defender. And so what they do is they try to hide him by putting him on the worst offensive guard for the opposing team, such as Andre Roberson. And that lets him rest, save his energy, and play great on the offensive end. But since the Thunder are trying to bump, grind, hit, foul, anything to ruin Stephen Curry's rhythm, they're also trying to make him work on defense. And Billy Donovan has designed a lot of plays to, instead of allowing Westbrook or Durant to get open shots or just take shots and pass them to Steven Adams underneath or Enes Kanter, he's actually trying to get off-ball motion by Andre Roberson to sneak into the paint, make backdoor cuts, and just slip through the defense when Westbrook drives in and gets triple-teamed or Durant drives in and gets double, triple-teamed, whatever. This forces Curry to actually stay and defend, and that's very difficult for him to do all night long while carrying the offensive load of the 73-win Warriors. He's having difficulty staying with Roberson, who continually gets backdoor cuts wide open to the hoop to get alley-oop layups or just a layup reverse, whatever, anything, dunks. He's had so many close to the hoop shots that is incredible because of the great offensive design and free-flowing of Andre Roberson. Billy Donovan has him go out there. He sets a pick for Westbrook. Westbrook drives in, draws a triple team from the paint, and Roberson just sneaks behind them all, gets the pass, and lays it in. This is also important because it means Westbrook is passing the ball when he gets double and triple teamed rather than forcing it to the hoop himself, which is a very, very big difference in play style. Westbrook used to be all about driving it in and just being reckless, out of control even. But in the past few weeks, he's shown he's actually changed his play style quite a bit under Billy Donovan, which is just a great credit to Billy Donovan because Scott Brooks before was not able to do that with Westbrook. Westbrook was not a very distributing, high basketball IQ player, I should say. And so in this series, you're really seeing it. He'll drive in, and at one point, I remember last night, he drove in. There was a double team that was going to try and close out on the drive to the hoop. And instead of forcing it all the way to the hoop, he kicked it straight out to Dion Waiters for the open three. That's a very smart play, but it's very different from the previous years from Russell Westbrook. I'm impressed, and it's really showing why the Thunder are playing so much better than the Warriors. They look like the 73-win team, not the Warriors. If this kind of play can continue, they continue to do the off-ball motion, they get their bigs to rebound, they continue to employ Billy Donovan's tactics and lineups to defeat the Warriors, they're going to win. If Westbrook plays like this, if Durant shoots even close to as good as he normally does, this is over. The series could end in 5 games. I predict that it will end in 5 games. Not by a blowout, though. I think that the Warriors are too good at home for this to be a blowout. But I think they're demoralized, and Steve Kerr doesn't know what to do. We'll see. I hopefully will be correct next time we come back to the show. But hold me to that. I believe it'll be 126 to 118, with the Thunder winning this game in a huge offensive scoring explosion. But there is another conference finals, and that's in the East. And as we talked about this 24-point blowout, we also want to talk about some of the closer games, like the amazing 38-point blowout in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yep, you didn't mishear me. 38-point blowout. The Cleveland Cavaliers won 116 to 78. It was, I don't even know how to describe this. I don't know if it should be murder, first degree, second degree, manslaughter, I don't know. But let's just say the Raptors did not show up. After tying this series in an incredible Game 4 in Toronto, they went back, tied 2-2 to Cleveland, and got blown out of the building. The Cavs started the first quarter by almost doubling them up, 37-19, then continued that by going up 28-15 in the second quarter. They were up by an absolutely insane 65-34 margin at the half. And that's an NBA playoff record for the conference finals. A 31-point lead at halftime? Oh, and they continued pushing it all the way up to a 40-point lead by the end of the third quarter. Until finally we had the incredible benches going at it in the fourth quarter in a meaningless final 12 minutes. It wasn't even close. No one on the Raptors showed up in this game. And on the other side, Kevin Love, LeBron James, they all showed up. Kevin Love especially was incredible in this. He had 8 for 10 shooting for 25 points, 3 for 4 from 3, and all 6 of his free throws were makes. 25 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. That's a great stat line and hyper efficient. Also, Kyrie Irving had a better comeback game, 9 for 17, 23 points. And LeBron James, as usual, 10 for 17, 23 points, and 8 assists. You know how he works. And outside of the big three, everyone else on the team contributed decently. Even Richard Jefferson pitched in with 11 points for the other double-digit scorer. But obviously the whole bench was playing. Even Timofey Mozgov got third quarter minutes. That's how bad of a blowout this game was. You may think that he was the center from last year's finals team. He was very good. But this year after his surgery, he's been absolute trash. And he was still on the court in the third quarter. That's how bad of a blowout this was. It was so unentertaining, I even had to turn it off by the fourth quarter because I was bored out of my mind. On the other side, DeRozan, 2 for 8. He did have 10 for 12 free throws for 14 points. Lowry was 5 for 12 from the field, 2 for 6 from the free throw line for 13 points and 6 assists, but he did have 5 turnovers. I mean, they were just awful all the way through and through. The only player who played pretty well, I guess, was Jonas Valanciunas, who had 4 for 4 from the field for 9 points, but was pretty much a defensive liability. And Bismack Biyombo, who was heralded as the hero in the other games, had a grand total of 4 rebounds in this one and 1 block. It was just an absolute demolition from the start. And after the first and second quarters were over, the Raptors had no heart left. Because, honestly, being down 31 points in the first half is just too much to overcome. I don't care how much you try to talk yourself up. You just say, move on, try and win Game 6, because it's over. So they're going to be going back to Toronto for a Game 6 when they're on the brink of elimination, and they need to win to push it to Game 7. If it goes to Game 7, despite the Cavaliers blowing out every single game on their home court and the Raptors winning handily in every single game on their home court, it's still a Game 7. One game can go any way. You never know what can happen. So, if the Raptors can go back to their place, forget this game ever happened, this 38-point implosion, I should say, by the Raptors, then hopefully they'll be able to move on. DeMar DeRozan will play better. Lowry will play better. Bismack Biyombo, DeMar Carroll, Terrence Ross, everyone will improve their play. Maybe Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving play poorly again. And the Raptors can tie it up 3-3, going back for a Game 7. I don't know if they can do it. This is a pretty demoralizing loss, but they did bounce back from the first 2 losses in the series. So we'll see. Hopefully, it'll be an interesting Game 6, and we'll be able to see a Game 7 conference finals, because the other Western Conference finals doesn't look like it's going to be Game 7. Honestly, that's really about it to talk about from this game. They were just getting destroyed. It didn't matter what happened. They just couldn't make shots. They couldn't control the ball. They turned it over too much. And the Cavaliers were getting wide open dunks, fast break points, everything. Not much tactics going on when you're winning by 38 points. They just outplayed them in every facet. Hopefully it's a bounce back, but we'll see. If you guys have any predictions for the coming 2 games, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know how you like the new name for the podcast, the NBA Pick and Pod. I thought it was kind of interesting because it's based off of the play, the Pick and Pop, but let me know. Also, thanks for listening. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe the video, and come back for the next time. Thanks. Have a great day.